He was like, I was at the cash register and there was no like, hey, how you doing? Like,
yeah.
Hey, like, you know, like, have a good night. He was just singing like I wasn't there. That'll be 5:32. Continue to sing.
Hey, I'm Cameron.
I'm Megan.
I'm Jeremy Renner.
Okay, so guys, I have to tell you about this really.
I don't even know who that is.
That's Hawkeye.
Oh, you're laughing at my joke. Okay. That was really delayed.
Oh, okay.
Guys, I have to tell you about Christian and I. Okay, so our sound stuff wasn't working for a second, and we had to wait for my computer to load. So Christian and I decided to go and get something from the gas station real quick.
I decided
and I invited you,
Yeah.
and you said, sure, I'll come.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Therefore, you decided.
And then what happened?
That's not how that worked.
Okay,
Oh my
all
gosh.
right.
So you end up at the grocery store somehow?
No, we went to the gas station.
Oh, gas station.
I was like, let's go get, I want to go get a couple treats, a couple drinks, whatever else just to get us through.
I'm really tired.
This recording
Sorry.
session.
I'm looking forward to the story.
Okay, that's great.
Earlier they were wanting to hear my reaction, so they've waited.
I feel like you're gonna react in the mood you're in. You're gonna react the same no matter what the story is.
If it's a good story or a bad story. Okay,
We'll
point being, we go to the gas station, and before I open the door, I hear this like blasting music, like
of like gospel music.
Of like gospel
What?
music. Yeah, like really loud. As
you
I'm
could hear
opening
it. You
the
could
door,
hear it in the parking lot.
You can hear it in the parking lot.
As
yeah.
you're opening the door.
And as
Okay.
I'm opening the door, all of a sudden I hear something that, honest to God, sounded like a baby crying. and it was so loud and so sharp. Did I not, Christian? Did I not jump and look over?
Yeah.
When I walked, I was like, "Whoa! What was that?" This dude, mind you, this is not 1 o'clock in the morning. This is not 2 o'clock in the morning. This is like 10 o'clock, which is kind of late, but it's not like, hey, let's get weird because it's so late, Like, is blasting gospel music.
He was the only person in the station.
Station.
There was no customers. There was no one else working. And he was just like walking around.
He was just walking around.
Singing like there was no one else in the world.
Like there was no one else. But like, we came in and the door dinged. And it dinged again.
But he didn't stop.
Wait, was he inside?
He was inside. He was working
inside the store.
This is something that you're not understanding.
Working, and you heard him out in the parking lot.
You
Yeah.
seem to think that he had it blasting on his phone or something.
Yeah.
No. This man had something hooked up to the speakers of
the store?
Of the store.
His own personal music.
His own
hooked up.
personal
Oh
and
my
I mean
gosh.
I don't know about you, Christian. It was hurting my ears a little bit.
Oh
It
my
was.
gosh.
I mean, it was really loud.
The crazy thing to me is you could hear the music, but he was singing along way louder than the music.
Way
To
louder.
every
than
single
the music.
word in the song.
Every single one, and it was a really repetitive song, and he was just going. It was like, oh, yeah.
All.
Yeah,
I still surrender.
I did this thing where I was like, he came and he was like fixing like the coffee filter or whatever, and I was like right beside him, and I was like, well, maybe if I'm like right here, he won't. He just stood right beside me, singing at full maximum
volume, as if we were just not there.
Didn't even look in my direction.
So I go and I like get the drink I'm gonna get. It was Mountain Dew, and then I go up to the register. He gets Christian taken care of, and then he gets to me, and I'm wearing a Spider-Man or like a Marvel shirt. And he's like, yeah. Oh, is that a Marvel shirt? I was like, yeah. He said, oh, I didn't know that Lockjaw was in Marvel. I was like, yeah, he is. He's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
At least he talked to you. He literally like only took a break from singing to be like, that'll be 5:32.
I mean, it is so hard to picture that because that seems so bizarre.
I want to be very clear. I mean, this man is belting it, and like how people will like sometimes sing along with music. He's not singing along with the music. He's doing like riffs on top of the music, like really, really, really loudly.
He has never heard another song other than this song in his life.
He's just going for it, and I'm like, I don't know how to react to this situation. Like,
oh, good for him. He was worshiping Jesus.
Well, it was cool, but for me, it was just weird that I was at the cash register, and there was no like, hey, how you doing? Like,
yeah.
Hey, like, like, have a good night. It was just singing like I wasn't there. That'll be 5:32. Continue to sing.
and then as we're walking out, we hit some part of the song that he really enjoyed. Because whatever, if he was at a 10 before, he hit like 11.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
Like,
oh my
he
gosh.
really, truly, like, belts in
He
something.
waited for us to, like, as
this.
the door was, like, closing and we could hear him.
To be clear, by the time we had left, we were not the only customers in there. We were like...
You're kidding.
And Christian, I don't know why you did this, by the way, but you got what you were getting, and then you, like, walked away, but you didn't walk out to the car, and you didn't, like, stand by for me to buy. You just, like, wandered off into the store.
I think I was, like, kind of waiting for you, but I didn't know what to do with myself. So I just, like, went over.
Well, it made me this awkward situation where I buy my stuff, and then I go out to the car, and you're not there, so I come back in looking for you. And then we end up, like, running around the store looking for the other one.
I thought you had left. You had walked out. Because somebody walked out the door after you got your thing, but it wasn't you.
No, that was me. I left and saw that you weren't there, and then came back in.
Oh, was that the door closing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so then you went out and looked for me when I was back inside looking for you. The whole time the music is blasting and he is watching the two of us looking for each other, not saying anything.
Well, he told me, he was like, oh, yeah, he's over here. Like,
oh,
after a while, yeah. I don't know if you heard that. He was like,
"Oh,
yeah, you went over here and he went back there. Y'all just confused.
Who said that?
The singing dude.
The only guy in the store.
Oh, I thought you said other
more
customers
customers
came.
had started coming in by then. I don't know if you saw it when you were wandering around looking for
No, I
me,
didn't.
but when I was wandering
Y'all
around
were
looking for you,
confused.
but there was like 2 or 3 other people who had come in at that point.
Stop.
No, I didn't see it.
Y'all were so obviously looking for each other lost.
Yeah.
The cashier said something.
It's just one of those things where I'm just like, listen. I'm a Christian. I worship a lot. I do those things. Not in a billion years. Not in a billion years would I sing like that in front of another person who was like shopping for donuts. Like,
Yeah, this man did not make eye contact with me ever. It was just, I wasn't there. Man.
it was a whole, he was in his whole new little world over there, man. And I mean, there was other customers looking in and they were all like looking down at the floor aggressively.
I wanted to ask what they looked like. Were they just looking down?
They were looking down at the floor aggressively. Like,
Yeah.
man, the floor here sure does look like floor.
Like their eyes bulging down at the floor. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
It really is this awkward situation.
It was a remarkably awkward situation because any other situation you would just expect, oh, the person's going to turn down his music or at least stop singing.
Yeah.
You know, like typically if someone's like singing in the shower, if they find out that someone else is listening, they stop.
It wasn't even a song people know. It's not like a popular song on the radio or like...
Yeah, this was not. I'm trying to think of a popular song and I realize I'm out of touch with society.
Something by Coldplay. I don't know.
Yeah, this isn't Beat It. Do people still listen to Beat It?
Oh my gosh.
Probably.
Like, it was largely just a song of, like... It was not a famous song. I don't know how to put it. It was just... It was crazy.
That is bizarre. Oh my gosh. I'm so sad I missed it.
Yeah.
I had to be putting our child to bed. Ugh.
And me and Christian kind of got in the car, and we didn't say anything for, like, 5 minutes.
Well,
we were like...
I thought it was, like, interesting, but I didn't think it was, like, hilarious until we were walking out, and he just waited until the moment we were walking out to hit his high note and just scream as the door was slowly closing. Yeah. I was dying.
He wasn't the worst singer in the world, but he was not prepared for that high note.
Did y'all start laughing after that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did get in the car. There was definitely this moment of like, what just happened? Like, what did we just experience?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Like, bro, I'm just trying to play my Metroid and get some Mountain Dew. Like, that's all I'm here for.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that just can't even be half as funny later telling the story. Like, it's just so hard to picture. I feel like you had to be there to appreciate
Are you saying
it.
that our storytelling was insufficient for the task at
Sounds like
hand?
something you could only find funny if you had to be there.
That would literally only be funny if you were there, and would not be funny upon
It's
a
probably not
retelling.
your fault that it's boring.
Yeah, I mean, it was boring, but it's not.
No.
I mean, it was your
That
fault
could
because
be
you
your
chose to tell the story. But it's only your fault insofar. Where did you get the ball? I didn't know.
I am almost to the first boss.
Wait, haven't you fought 2 bosses already?
He's fought like
The,
3 or
the,
4.
the main boss, like the first level boss.
Huh. Wow. I have not been paying attention. I have not.
Me neither.
I sure am glad that all of these people tuned in to this video that has Metroid Prime really clearly written on the front of the thumbnail to watch us play Metroid Prime
Well-
as we talk about a random guy singing in a gas station.
I want to talk about, and what Christian seemed to be interested in talking about, I guess I want to hear about the music. It seems like it would be Christian's vibe.
Speaking of music.
That's what she's asking.
Oh, was that implied?
Yeah. No, it wasn't implied. That was explicitly what she just
Oh,
said.
okay, really?
Go for it, bro. What are your opinions?
Well, I, of course, love everything about this game.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh.
Which also includes the music.
The music is awesome.
I think the music in Metroid in general is just, like, superb. I think, once again, this in particular, though, there's just something about it. Like, there's just, like, I'm very, like, I love, like, music with, like, good, like, beats. Like, good,
Yeah.
like, I guess percussion in general. And that's all this music is just layer upon layer of different, like, beats. And it's just addicting to me.
When people say I like that vibe, I don't normally relate to that phrase, but this game absolutely has a
Yeah.
vibe. And for the record, the first time I heard it, I did not like the music to this game.
Really?
Yeah, I remember, because like I heard it in like Smash Brothers and stuff, and I was like, eh. Like, it was always my least favorite Metroid game's soundtrack. And then when I played Super Metroid, and I really liked that chiptune sound. You know, that Mogmore Caverns from, and the Bryn Star, and all that stuff that had that real strong melody to it. So my first time playing this, I was not, like, in love with the soundtrack. But, like, as I played it through again, this game freaking won me over, like, all the way.
This is an all-timer for me, as far as, like, soundtracks for games.
I actually can't believe that there was ever a time that I heard any of this and wasn't in love with it.
Me neither. I don't know.
What do you
man.
think changed?
I don't know. It just really, 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 really... I think part of it might be that in Smash Bros, this music doesn't work really good for a Smash Bros setting.
Yeah.
But when you see it in its actual environment... The other thing is, I've really, really gotten into lo-fi, chill, like, you know, the anime girl lo-fi channel where she's, like, listening and doing homework.
Yeah.
I've listened to that a lot, and this has that vibe to it. It's really, like, spacey and relaxing, but...
I think the Prime games in particular have just, like, the best sci-fi, like, sound.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's, like, there's a certain sound that's, like, only in Prime. And it's,
Yeah.
like, the sci-fi, like, sounding thing.
It's like epic and gross and adventure-y and scary isn't the right word, but
There's
definitely
a
like
creepy, definitely.
creepy. Yeah, like it. There's a heroic under vibe to it, but did you just beat him?
No.
Oh, okay. It's like, how did you just beat him already? Like, there's just a sound to it that sounds really, 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 really spacey.
Yeah.
And heroic, but also really acknowledges, like, the grossness and the foreignness to,
Yeah.
like, the environment.
Something I like about this in particular is, like, you'll play, like, a level, and it'll be like kind of like a basic thing, and then if you like either get like further into it or you get to like a more deep like section or something, this like it'll like build upon itself.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
like in love with that.
If they do that with a song at all, I immediately like it. I don't. It can be a bad song. If they do it, I like it.
Yeah.
They do that in the Mario Galaxy games. With the main song as you get farther through the game, the Hub World's music like builds on itself.
Yeah.
Can't get enough of it.
Well, that is, I think that's kind of the thing where like it'll be like the same song, but it'll like get like bigger. You know?
Yeah.
This one, it'll like have like a beat, and then like maybe like a little bit of like something in the back, like very like environmental, like just like vibe to it.
Yeah.
And then like later it'll like have like another layer, and then another where it's like you hear like the melody, and then you hear like something else.
Well,
and you don't realize it until you get like a couple rooms in, you're like, oh, this is a different like
this
thing.
has become more than it was, but in a different. It's adjacent. I don't know how to put it. Like the difference between this and Metroid Dread's soundtrack, which was really, really weak in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
Was like Metroid Dread had very environmental sounds, but it lacked a strong identity, and something that this soundtrack, and I don't know if I can put my finger on it exactly, especially while we're just sitting here playing. I'm not sitting here listening to two soundtracks at the same time, but like there's this sci-fi sound that's like the earliest point that I have personally heard it is way back for The Day the Earth Stood Still, that 40s movie. It has that kind of sound to it, you know?
Yeah.
And like that like really high-pitched whistly sound like is really like, this doesn't sound like a space opera like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It sounds like foreign and like there's a living alien creature, and I mean alien in the obvious sci-fi sense, but alien like as in like something that is very much other and hard to wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
And it just is constantly giving that vibe in different layers and beats and yeah, I don't know, it's really cool to listen to.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with this game, is it's very, very, very vibey. Like, very on purpose and intentional.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, like a backdrop. That's, like, why it has, like, the rain, like, when you get on, like, the world and everything. It's supposed to be, like, a feeling, which is, I just can't get enough of that.
Yeah, it sticks in your mind in such a way that your brain can just latch onto it, you know? Even though it's really... I think what I like about it is that it's... How do I put it? It is iconic enough that your brain can latch onto it, but it's nuanced enough and subtle enough that it already feels like a memory that you've already experienced when your brain latches onto it. So it's like it creates this immediate nostalgia when you hear it the first time.
I have never thought about it like that. That could definitely be a thing. I wouldn't know because I played this when I was like 10, but...
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess, Christian, did you just beat it?
Looks like I did.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. You know what to do.
And if you don't, ask someone.